Daring Abroad in association with Equity PayPal.
Today on the show, we tell the story of Mistri, an actress, content creator and radio producer. She has traveled and lived all across the globe, but in 2016, she made the decision to come back home and use her vast experience abroad to enrich the media industry in Kenya. I sat down with her as she told her story.
I thought to myself, why am I struggling to work in an environment that's already well established, whereas I could just come home and help build the industry here.
Hello, Michael. How are you? Nice to see you.
Mistri grew up in Molo, Nakuru County. She attended St. Andrew's Turi, and being the daughter of a flight attendant, she began touring the world at a very tender age.
My mum used to work for KQ, and so anytime that she had time off, she would take us on all her trips, especially to England.
In 2002, she completed her primary school education and later joined the King's School Bruton in Somerset, England for her A-levels.
My mum felt it would be better if I was to go abroad and get exposed and keep up with the system that I had grown up with.
Despite being only 15 years of age, Jazz did not have a problem living so far from home. She, however, did face some challenges.
The food is terrible. It's tasteless. It's bland. The sausages are not sausages. I don't care what anyone tells you. Kenyan food is the bomb. Yeah, there's lots of spice and I love it. And also there were a couple of kids who just, would have the racist comment here or there. But I wasn't really bothered by them. I had a lot more friends than I did enemies.
So a brave Jazz completed her A-levels, but her stay in England was, however, short-lived. After just 2 years, she found herself back in Kenya.
At the time, I wanted to study theatre. And unfortunately, my mum wasn't too keen. She didn't understand the industry at the time. And when I wanted to study, there was nothing happening in Kenya. So she was very worried that I was choosing a career that would not take me anywhere. So she suggested I come back and really think about what it is that I wanted to do.
Upon further reflection, she decided it was too expensive for her to study drama theatre. This, however, did not deter her from her love of performing, and so an 18-year-old Mistri shifted her focus and actively pursued a career in entertainment and media.
I worked really, really hard to get into it. I mean, I remember sitting at Capitol for about 8 months, just at reception every day, like it was my job, just waiting to be heard.
She finally got her big break in 2005 and joined Capital FM as a presenter. But this was only the beginning. Her experience of diverse cultures gave her an added advantage, an advantage that she gladly utilized.
Being abroad helped me to open up and learn how to speak to people. I come to the office with different personalities. I might just be Irish today, and that's how I'm going to talk the whole day because that's what I've been doing. Or, my people from the Asian persuasion, we are just like vibing. And it is just a natural thing for me. Nah?
This one-of-a-kind talent saw her eventually move from radio to television.
I did a show called The Weekly Show. It was on NTV. And it was a satirical show. And we just had a little group of fun, delightful guys who had a passion for comedy and wanted to do satire.
Unfortunately, the show didn't last long, since at the time the country was not ready for the content her and her team were providing. So, what did she do after this disappointment?
What didn't I do is the question. You gotta survive in this industry. So my team that I was working with on The Weekly Show, we went on to the XYZ show. And so we started writing and doing voiceovers for XYZ. And I did some editorial work where I used to write for a local online magazine. And then I worked at Hot 96. I was also a radio presenter there. After that, I decided to go to advertising. I worked in advertising at Ogilvy and Mather.
However, being that she had joined the industry immediately after high school, her lack of academic qualification started becoming a hindrance for her.
I had reached a point in my life and career where I was hitting a glass ceiling. I felt like my career was not going anywhere. Obviously, the one thing that I hadn't done up until this point was get a degree. I just decided, you know what, instead of getting stuck here and sort of getting disillusioned, let me go get a degree and see if things are going to change after that.
So in 2015, Chams enrolled for a postgraduate degree in live performance and motion picture at Africa Film Drama at University in Cape Town, South Africa. Because of her work experience in the industry, it did not matter that she did not have an undergraduate degree to begin with. Even though she was no stranger to daring abroad, Chams surprisingly found life in South Africa difficult.
I landed there and immediately I just realized this is not home. This is a different place altogether. You think because it's Africa, it's like we're the same. We're not the same. I got there and I immediately felt I am not at home anymore. The people are different and the culture is very different.
But despite the hardship, a determined Chams decided to persevere.
At the end of the day, a degree is a degree. And I knew the importance of furthering my education. I was like, I came to get a degree and I'm going to leave with a degree.
We will find out how Chams was able to deal with life in South Africa right after our Miles Away segment. Today on Miles Away, we take a look at the Republic of South Africa, one of the countries that Chams Mistri lived. The country is led by Cyril Ramaphosa, who was voted into power upon the resignation of President Jacob Zuma. It has a population of over 55 million people. It also has 3 capital cities: Cape Town, which is the legislative capital, Pretoria, which is the administrative capital, and Bloemfontein, which is the judicial capital. The country is also a popular tourist attraction. Its beautiful sceneries, wonderful cities, and vibrant culture attracts millions of tourists each year. Similar to Kenya, South Africa also leads the continent when it comes to dominance in the sport of rugby. Both countries boast of having high-ranking rugby teams in Africa. And that's Miles Away. Chams Mistri had just landed in South Africa, but unfortunately for her, her stay was not quite as pleasant as she had anticipated. She, however, was not going to let anything hold her back from achieving her goal, and soon she was appreciating how well established the media industry was.
The industry there is very vibrant, especially when it comes to plays, when it comes to music, when it comes to filming, TV. There's a lot more to learn, as opposed to here, where you'll be taught about these multi-cameras and these wonderful kind of shots you can do, or these plays, and there's not much exposure, and not many people have the ability or the opportunity to practice what they preach. So you get a lot of theory in Kenya. So theoretically, this is what you would do. Theoretically, in a larger studio, this is what you do. Theoretically, if you had the equipment, this is what you do.
And upon graduating, Chams came back to Kenya in 2016 to share what she had learnt back home. But as soon as she landed, she began regretting her decision.
It was a very low moment for me, because the industry had moved. Like, it did not wait for me. It did not care for me. And it could not wait for me. And the people that I knew had left, and there'd been big shifts and massive firings. People have moved different places. So it's not the way I left it.
This change resulted in Chams taking 2 years off to learn how to navigate the industry. She focused more on building a social media presence, which caught the attention of key players in the industry. She ended up working for film studios, and in 2018 joined NRG Radio as a producer.
Reactionary words. What do you mean? What do you mean decent? Yeah. So you can just tease them with such things. And then Duncan will come and show you how to pick up calls. Always been very passionate about radio. It was my first job. It was my dream job. And now I've come in as a producer, which is just, it's like full circle.
So how has she been able to impact the industry since she returned?
I can combine my international interests and my local interests and marry the two to make something completely different and new and brilliant. It's not radio like it used to be.
Her unique approach is not only felt by her listeners, but also by her colleagues at work.
Before Jazz came, it was good, but it wasn't where it is right now. And in the span of time we've worked with her, we've really seen an amazing improvement. She brings something to the table that I don't think anyone else in this country would bring.
Jazz attributes all that she has been able to achieve to her decision to dare abroad. She further adds that the experience gave her a new appreciation for her country.
When you go abroad and you hear another Kenyan's voice, you just immediately sense that patriotism and that sense of home, and it grounds me every time I travel, and it gives me just so much a deeper respect for where I come from, my history, and I feel proud to be Kenyan.
She further hopes that her experience results in a more developed entertainment and media industry in Kenya.
There's something happening in Kenya. I don't know what it is. There is a hunger for us to do more. And I want to be one of the pioneers. I want to be the person who says, you know, I was there when it was starting.
And this is the advice she has for all those who are considering daring abroad in our diaspora bite.
Go for it. Don't think twice. If you have the opportunity, go for it. And have an open mind. And no experience is a bad experience. Even if it's bad, you still learn something from it, and you can always grow from it. So if you want to go abroad, do it.
Jazz Mistri is indeed a global citizen with a passion for media, a passion that has seen her travel to different countries and experience diverse cultures. But despite her travels, her heart is in Kenya. And as she says, she would rather make it here than anywhere else in the world. Until next week, I'm Michael Zimanji.
PayPal is a faster, safer way to make and receive online payments. With the Equity Bank's PayPal withdrawal service, you can access funds received from anywhere around the globe. Even better, you can now withdraw funds from your PayPal account to your Equity Bank account at a reduced rate of as little as 1%. Visit Equity's self-service portal to link your PayPal account to your Equity Bank account today.